Voice. One moment. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My apologies, my voice was just not voicing. Still isn't. Oh, dang. There we go, that's better. Not sure what my voice was up to there, but welcome back to my channel for a bit of a later stream here today. So, Sky Blue Thursday couldn't happen today, it's gonna be back next week. So instead you've just got me for today, solo stream here. Let's just get into it. My apologies. Right then. So this is not gonna be completely a player rating stream, because there's just not enough stuff to talk about when we're looking at a championship game here. I mean, a game against a championship side. There's just not enough to talk about. But I'll start with a player rating, and then we'll see how much time we have left, and we'll see where it goes. We will see where it goes, guys. So let's just get started here. Let me share my screen. There we go. Wonderful. Right, so Trafford, he couldn't do much against the goal. He could not do anything against the goal. Because, let's be honest, who scored this goal? Franco here. This guy. That's probably the best goal this guy has scored in his entire career. Let me look this guy up. Let me look this guy up. This random dude scored the best goal of his career against us. That's the truth. So Donnarumma, not really his fault. He was in the second tier of Portugal, bruv. Like, that's deep. Let's see, what clubs has this guy played for? 1 goal in the championship, he's a midfielder, he's not really a scorer, it seems. Bruv, he is a reject of the Porto youth system. Like, bro. This guy is not that guy. But, for some reason, when you play against Man City, you find your feet, you envision a goal that is just a bit of nonsense, and then you score it. That's the way it goes against Man City. Nothing Trafford can do about that. Donnarumma would have done nothing there either. Let's be honest. Big up to him in chat. Big up. So, I mean, I can't say much on Trafford. That's literally the only shot he faced, I believe. There was one moment where he came out and took a ball and good proactive goalkeeping. But other than that, nothing really. So, let's just go to the next player. Which is gonna be Ait Nouri. Listen, Ait Nouri was injured for a while, which was annoying. I think Ait Nouri played brilliant for us before his injury, which was 1 game and 20 minutes. I think we looked brilliant against Spurs with Ait Nouri on the pitch. I think Ait Nouri is a brilliant player. Just a bit of bad luck that he got injured. But here's the thing. Here's the thing with Ait Nouri. Because people criticize him, yeah, for the Brighton game. Oh, he was shit against Brighton. I disagree. I disagree. I think against Brighton, he was just injured. I don't think that's his fault. We rushed him back onto the pitch, and you know what the thing is, yeah? You get this player, plays brilliant against Wolves, makes everyone look great. Plays very good against Spurs in the opening minutes. Then he goes off, you clearly look worse. Then against Brighton, he's rushed back onto the pitch, not looking top level. You lose 2 games on the bounce, and people need a new target, a new pinpoint. I think Ait Nouri is that. Did he play brilliant in this game? No, not really. But he did his job. He did his job, and I think that's enough. So Ait Nouri, nothing much to say. Nothing much to say about most of these defenders, honestly. Aki, mean, did Ake have a lot to do? Listen, they did not have a lot of shots. I just want to go through this here. If you go to stats, they had 2 shots. I honestly can't remember what the second shot is. That's the goal. I honestly can't remember what this is. They didn't have many big chances. They scored out 1 big chance, which I won't even say was a big chance. They didn't create anything, so centre backs, it's not like they had to do mad stuff to stop them from scoring. It's just they created nothing. So yeah, I don't know. It's difficult to say anything about centre backs here. Husanov, I mean, same story. I can't say much about these 4 guys. They just did their job. They just did their job. The passing was fine. Husanov, I think Husanov at right back looks a bit more comfortable because he's not under as much pressure. When you play on the sides of the pitch, it's not as much pressure on you. When you make a mistake in the middle of the pitch, that mistake gets punished more heavily. So I think Husanov looks a bit better on the right side of the pitch when he's at right back. Has some more experienced players in the center. But, I mean, Footmob gives him a 6.5 here. I don't really know why that is. I don't think he played poorly. He just, like the other back forward, he did his job. Now, Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis played right back today, which I assume means Mateus Nunes will play against Bournemouth. I assume that means Nunes starts. Which is fine, I suppose. No need to rush Husanov back to playing 2-3 games in a row. Lewis was okay, but I have to amend that. He was okay against a championship side. Listen, I don't want to be rude here, but we've done this before. We've done this before. We see one player who plays a semi-good game against shitty opposition, and we're like, oh, this player, he needs to start every week. Did Lewis play well? Yes. I'm not taking that away from him, he played well. I think there were a few times when he pushed up the pitch where his touches were maybe sloppy, where, like, there was one moment where it was 1-1. Shetty tried to combine for the, well, 1-2. Shetty tried to combine for a 1-2. Gave the ball to Lewis. And Lewis, all he had to do was stick out his foot and poke the ball onwards into Shetty's path. Not be lazy about it. Use his body. Use the chain of the body. Get across the defender. Poke the ball on to Shetty's path. And Shetty would have been in. I feel like he was being lazy. He just stuck out his foot. Like, you know, his body was hanging behind. He stuck out his foot. He needs to use the chain of the body more. If you don't know what the chain of the body is, so this is very big in fighting sports. The chain of your body is the way you transfer the power of your entire body into a single area. So, your hand, for example. If you're fighting, because this is in a lot of fighting sports, if you're fighting, I think the correct posture is your dominant, your punching side forward, and you want to kind of hold that back and just like swing through. I'm no fighter, but I think that's how it works, right? And that's the chain of the body. You use your back, you use your hips, you use your legs, you use everything when you throw a punch. In football, it's the same. You don't just throw in your leg. You use your hips to make your leg stronger. You use the force of your hips to place your leg stronger. You use your upper body to push away the defender. Not just your arm, your upper body. You're gonna push in there with your arm and you're gonna come in with your upper body. You're gonna add that hip movement. That is the chain of the body. I don't feel like Lewis uses that enough, which is why he comes across as weak sometimes. I'm not trying to criticize Lewis too much here, but the reason why I go in on Lewis is because I feel like even in this game, where he played a good game against weaker opposition, could have been better. That's just my thing. But I've got nothing else negative to say about this back, forward, and the goalkeeper. The goal that happened, it happened. It was annoying, but move on. Gonzalez. I think his performance is overrated. I see a lot of people glazing Gonzalez in this game. I don't think he was bad. Listen, I don't think Gonzalez was bad in this game. But he was doing too much. Like, he was nutmegging players, he was doing everything with this ball, except getting it where he had to do it. Sometimes these players, like the way he tried to pass the ball, he tried to flick the ball on, and he tried to chip it over the place, and I was like, brother, these passes are not connecting. We're losing the ball a lot, primarily the first half. Second half, he did better. But in the first half, so many times where you try to chip the ball over or you try to flick it on, and it looks nice when it comes off, but it usually doesn't come off. Like you start the game out with just basics, and then you shift into the rest of the game. Then you can worry more about doing tricks and looking nice. But when you start out a game, just started out basic. Now, despite that, I do think Gonzalez played a brilliant game. I think he held down midfield. He completed the most passes, it says over here, which nowadays is usually a centre back, so that says a lot. He looked comfortable, maybe a bit too comfortable. He looked a bit lazy at times. But other than that, fine performance by Gonzalez. Let's stick in midfield for now. Divine Mukasa. Divine, stinker and hooked, I would call that. No. Listen, Mukasa. Cheers, mate, but yikes. Really, really yikes. It shows you the championship players are still a level above the players from academies. Like when people say, start Mukasa, start whoever in the Premier League, I mean, this goes to show why you don't do that. These players from the championship, at one point we're doing this with Bob, start Bob every game, and just know the difference in level between the championship and the best 17-year-old players, because that's how old I think Mukasa is, it's massive. That's not by any fault of Mukasa. Mukasa is a good player, but it's not Yamal. It's not Lamine Yamal. I think people look at Lamine Yamal and they think that stuff is normal. It isn't. That is not normal. Especially not in a league like the Premier League, which is so very physical. In a league that focuses on technical ability, like La Liga, younger players can shine more because you're not as reliant on physicality, you're not getting bullied by older players. In the Championship, in the Premier League, or you're gonna get tackled, mate. You're gonna get kicked. You're gonna get shoved. And those younger players tend to struggle more. He didn't play a good game. It's only a Championship team. He had some very solid players around him. Yet he didn't play a solid game. He's 18. I said 17 earlier, didn't I? But same difference. Very young. I'm happy he got minutes though. I think the minutes are important because when you're this young, look at that performance. Was it a good performance? No. But you can say, look, I know what to work on now. I was a bit of a ghost in this game. I didn't really know how to express myself, but I know that now. I can work on this. I can improve. So, no drama, but it just to me this game shows, no, do not start Divine Mukasa in the Premier League. Have him on the bench as a backup option, yes, but don't start these players against adults. You just don't. Ryan Cherki was player of the match with a 9.0 rating. Probably fair. Probably fair, isn't it? I mean, I think I need to converse with you guys like this now. I think I need to look you guys in the eyes as I converse to you about Ryan Cherki. Listen, this guy has more GA already than Florian Wirtz, by the way. He's got 3 GA. Forget that Club World Cup. Forget the Club World Cup. Forget it. Club World Cup, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Community Shield, nobody cares. Florian Wirtz, 2 assists so far. He's played every game, 2 assists. Ryan Cherki, just back from injury, 1 goal in his first 10 minutes, I believe. And another goal in his next 170 minutes. Ryan Cherki has now played 180 minutes, which is 2 full 90s. So in his first 10 minutes, he got a goal. In his next 170 minutes, he got 1 goal, 1 assist. This is Ryan Cherki. He gets output, he looks fucking sick. His crossing is immense. If this guy can get back to being full-time fit, we are cooking. Because people worry about, oh, if you play Cherki, you can't play Foden, so do we drop Foden? Do we play Cherki? Listen. You play Cherki on the right wing. Marmoush on the left wing. Foden in the middle. And they can rotate whenever they want. Whenever they want. Let them change. Oh, you're not enjoying... Okay, change. That is brilliant. When you have the players who can just, like that, swap sides, that is brilliant. Doku cannot do that. Savio cannot do that. Not to belittle those players. But Cherki can. And that's what makes him such a wonderful player. He can switch with Foden at any time. He's such a wonderful player. Not just his technical ability, which is just top notch. Not just that, but he's just talented. I mean, I don't know 2 other ways to put it. His dribbling is top notch, his passing is top notch, his vision is incredible. His scoring, he's a good scorer of goals. He's a scorer of good goals. I'm not sure if he's a good scorer of goals, because that implies he scored a lot of goals. But he is a scorer of good goals. And if he can chip in with 5 to 10 goals in the Premier League alone, that is a massive upgrade from Savio with 1 and Doku with 3. So that is a massive upgrade. If you go from 3 goals at most, 4 goals between 2 players, to 10 goals from 1 player, massive upgrade. Not to mention the assist he's gonna get and the amount of times he's gonna get us up the pitch and the way he controls a game. Brilliant player. Brilliant player, Cherki. Marmoush and Cherki being back will make Foden better. It will give us more creative outlets, that's true. Remove pressure on Foden and allow Foden to work more. Allow Foden more space to work, sorry. I'll see where you're going. I agree and disagree. I know that's a cop-out answer, but I agree and disagree. I agree in the sense that you get more space, Foden gets a bit more space, a bit more time, he can pull off a better pass, right? I agree with that. Foden is maybe gonna have a bit more space to get a shot off, like he did in the 4-beat season. Can't do that right now because he's got no space. In the 4-beat season, Foden had space to work with. So, in that way, yes, if he has more space, he's gonna score more goals, he's gonna get more balls into the box and get more assists. On the other end of the side of the coin, though, he shouldn't need Shetki and Marmoush to help him to do that. I know it's rough on Foden, but I feel like sometimes we talk about Foden like, oh, when this played and that played. I don't think he needs that. Now, to Foden's credit, I don't think he's been bad this season. I think a lot of people call Foden bad this season because it's popular from last season. And he was abhorrent last season. Hands up, he was terrible last season. I don't think this season Foden has been bad. So, yeah, maybe he gets more numbers up. He needs to get his numbers up. But I think he'll get there anyhow. What I'm mainly interested in is just to see Marmoush, Foden, Shetki. You know, if you play a 4-2-3-1, which is not really how we play, but let's just imagine. Let's say we play a 4-2-3-1. Marmoush, Foden, Shetki, all of those three behind Haaland, they're just swapping with each other constantly. I mean, that's gonna wreak havoc upon our defense. If you mismark any one of them, they are in for a goal. And that's three players that are difficult to mark because they keep swapping. So, okay, how do you fix that? You put an extra man in midfield to manage that. Okay, now if you put an extra man in midfield, either you take that from your centre back, which means Haaland is gonna eat from balls from Guardiola, or you do that from your attack. You take one attack and then you put it back. Which means these teams are never getting out of their box. Which means you're dead. Foden is going to shoot from distance, or we're going to cross a ball into Shetki and Haaland is going to get a header on it, or Marmoush is going to shoot from a tight angle and score, which he does brilliantly, by the way. Not just this game, I'll get to Marmoush, but he's done it before, I believe against Newcastle, a shot from a tight angle that he scored. But I feel like we've got so many options to score from if those three play together on the pitch. So, I don't know if Foden individually will play better, but I think that systematically we work better with all three on the pitch. So, I think people need to differentiate between playing better as an individual and playing better as a system. Sometimes it's not an individual's fault that their performance is not at high level if the system is dysfunctional. I'm not saying it is, but I'm just saying sometimes you criticize players for something that isn't the fault of a player, and sometimes, not you specifically, Rosa, but just people in general, and sometimes you criticize a manager for things that aren't really the manager's fault. Like, I think people sometimes need to look at why is a player playing badly. Is this player scoring goals or not scoring goals because they're putting in poor shifts, they've got poor touches, they're wasting chances, or is it because they're not getting the ball enough, or they're getting the ball in the wrong positions, or there's not enough space to work with? I think with Foden, it's the latter. I don't think with Foden that he's played poorly. I just don't think he's been accommodated properly. I know what people are gonna say. World-class players should not be accommodated. I agree. But I'm just gonna say it. Phil Foden is not world-class. I think that term is used way too easily nowadays. People call Alexander Isak world-class. Never in his career has he been world-class. You know what world-class is? If you call a striker world class, I want to compare that striker to prime Lewandowski. Are you comparable? Then you're not a world class striker. If you say world class midfielder, I want to compare you to prime De Bruyne if you're a 10, prime Yaya Toure, or prime Fernandinho. And if you are not comparable, you are not world class. So, is Phil Foden comparable to prime Kevin De Bruyne? No, let's be honest, he's not. So he's not world class for me. Does that make him a bad player? No, he's not a bad player. He's a very good player. He's an elite player who will make you better if you properly play him. But he's not the player who single-handedly wins you a game. Never has been, he never will be. When he scores those goals from distance, that is not him single-handedly doing that. That is an entire system that creates those opportunities for him to shoot and score. When Haaland scores a hat-trick out of nowhere because he makes brilliant runs, that is him creating space for himself. And very few players do that. So I think Haaland can win you games on his own, whereas no one else in the City team can do that. Arguably maybe Foden in the 4th season, but even then I'd argue there's caveats to that. By the way, Rodri, he's injured, so, well, he's coming back from injury, but he's struggling with injury. So I don't think he even can single-handedly win you a game. So if I look at our world-class players, I think it's Haaland and Donnarumma, and that's it. But listen, that's fine. That's fine. I think the word world-class is just used so easily. I mean, it's ridiculous. When people call Bukayo Saka world-class, I just think, wow, you're actually dumb. No offense, yeah, but how can you call someone who's never won a league title, never won a Champions League world-class? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Harry Kane. Harry Kane was world-class at Tottenham. No, he wasn't. World-class means you win things. You single-handedly get your team over the line. Not every game, but sometimes. Harry Kane has never been that way in the Premier League. Harry Kane at Bayern München is world-class. At Tottenham? Never. So, I think the word world-class is just used so lightly. So that's no slander on Foden. I'm just saying. Is he world-class? No. Are most players world-class? No. I mean, if everyone is world-class, the word world-class means nothing. That's the thing. Was Carlos Tevez world-class? No, he wasn't. Oh, but he was a brilliant player. Yes, he was. But world-class. You are comparing prime Carlos Tevez to prime Aguero. Or prime Carlos Tevez to prime Rooney. Not really. So he's not in the conversation with other world-class strikers, so he's not world-class. This is a rant about what is and what isn't world-class at this point. Let's just move on. This has nothing to do with the game anymore, does it? Right then. I'll start with Doku. I've got some positive things to say about Doku. Hey, for once I've got something positive to say about Doku. People say I'm a Doku hater, which is quite true, but still, I can be positive too. Let's see some statistics, actually. I want to see what this guy did. I mean, look at his crosses, though. He doesn't get many crosses off, does he? He doesn't get crosses off successfully. That's what I think Doku needs to learn. Cross a ball properly. And maybe he does that better on the right wing, but I suppose we'll never know because Pep is allergic to Doku on the right wing. One moment. My apologies. Here we go. Here we are back. I mean, only one successful dribble, by the way. Here's the thing. I'm just looking through the statistics right now. They're not that great, to be honest. Here's the thing with Doku. Sure. Looked fine. Looked fine. Was he the big issue? Not really. Just not enough, is it? It's not enough from a world-class winger. Or what you'd expect to be a world-class winger. And Doku. Not enough. I don't know. I expect Doku to be rinsing a team like this to get a goal or to create something, and I feel like he was missing for most of the game. And he doesn't up it in the Premier League. I mean, he ups it a bit, but not a lot. I feel like this is a weak team to get a okay performance against, and then is that gonna carry over to the Premier League? Most probably not, let's be honest. Doesn't get these performances down in the Premier League. That's the truth. He doesn't get these performances down in the Premier League. He's had like 2 good games in the league this season. 1 good game in the Champions League. It's not enough. It really isn't enough. It's a shame when a player has a good game and you just have to look at it and you're thinking it's not enough. Because I feel like he was lazy as well at start of the game, which I think is utterly unacceptable from Doku, who has been struggling so much. Needs to really prove himself for once. And he's somehow finding himself being lazy on the pitch, just like, yeah, I'm too good to be here. I think you're not good enough to be here. And that's disappointing from Doku. You expect Doku in this game to be trying to stake a claim. Why should I be a Man City player? Why should I not be sold? I didn't see that from Doku. Was he terrible? No, he played just fine. But was he brilliant? I mean, he scored a goal. He scored a good goal. Was he brilliant? No. Did he create a lot? No. Did he drive the ball up the pitch a lot? No. So for the Doku, it's a bit of a disappointing game. I can't lie. I can't lie. I mean, it's a lot of disappointing games from Doku since his purple patch. And this is the thing. He had a purple patch and everyone was believing in Doku. But, well. Good things do not last. Usually they don't last. Nothing lasts, does it? Listen, I'm just gonna say, yeah. With people who rate Doku. This game was okay at best. And this is a championship side, a side who struggles in the championship. And no, Doku was not the only bad player. A lot of players were poor in this game, that is true. But he was one of the poor ones. In a game where he had a lot to prove and didn't. On to the next, Oscar Bob. I think Oscar Bob, you can say a lot of stuff about him that you can say about others. To be honest. When you talk about young players, you're looking at how long do you take to adjust. Oscar Bob played okay. But what did he really do in that game? I think he's a bit similar to Doku. But he's a bit better. Because he had a few moments where he cut inside, tried to create, tried to pass. Doku had none of that. But it's also not enough against a championship side. It's only 1 year younger than Doku, I get it. He's quite a bit less experienced and he needs to build up that experience. Oscar the Bob, you know what I think he needs? I think Oscar the Bob needs appearances coming off the bench. Oscar the Bob needs to play against tired legs. Oscar the Bob needs to come on when we're winning 2-0. That's what Oscar the Bob needs, I think, to further develop him. Just get a comfy play out of him. Get something growing. Experiment how well he can move the ball around. All that stuff. No, he can do it. But it's just disappointing sometimes. And I think there's too much pressure on Oscar the Bob to prove himself. And when a player puts too much pressure on themselves, they start doing things they shouldn't do. And it's poor. Oscar the Bob. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. I think I'd start Savinho in the league over Doku. If Marmoush is fit to play, I would play Marmoush. To be honest, I'll drop Bob, I'll drop Doku. I'll drop both of them. Not because they played poorly, but they didn't convince me that they should play. I mean, I'm gonna talk about Marmoush now. Scored a very good goal. What more can you ask for? I think we've looked for the goal scorers a while now. Marmoush coming back, we know Marmoush can score goals. He missed a few chances. Shouldn't have missed those chances, if we're being very honest with ourselves. But okay, he missed a few chances, it is what it is. We're still, though. We're still getting that goal at the end. That's the thing. Yeah, you miss those chances, but you get the goal. You fuck up some stuff, but you get the goal. That's the thing. You get the goal. At the end of the day, that's what elite goal scorers do. Play a shit game, get a goal. Play a good game, get 2 goals. Play a really good game, get 3 goals. But no matter what, you get a goal. Play shit, you still score. That is an elite goal scorer. I don't think he played shit in general, but I do think he was a bit wasteful with his chances. But, bang. At the end, I think it was like the 90th minute or something. What minute was it when he scored? 78, Cherky scored the late goal. 77th minute, sorry. He does go on, gets his goal from a tight angle. Should have scored a few other chances, yes. He scored the most difficult chance, probably. But he's back on the score sheet this season. Last season, he scored 27 goals across all competitions. If he can hit 15 goals, all competitions this season, that's gonna be bueno. 10 goals, Premier League. 1 goal in the Carabao Cup. Maybe 1 goal in the FA Cup. And then 3 goals in the Champions League. That is elite return for a winger. Which I think is what Marmoush is. I think. I'm not sure, to be honest, at this point, but still, hey. Well, what is Marmoush? The question of the ages. What is Marmoush? Anyhow, that rounds up the player rating section, which is the first half of this, which I'm gonna... Again, I can't talk a lot about a game against a championship side, and I think I got 40 minutes out of it. 40 minutes is more than I expected to farm out of that, to be honest. I thought I'd have only 20 minutes talking about it. So, I'm gonna do a bit of a preview to the next 5 Premier League games. Let's see where we are at after the next 5 Premier League games. I'm gonna track Man City. I'm gonna track Arsenal. I don't think anyone else here is really in contention. Yes, Spurs is above us right now, but let me show you guys something. Let me show you guys something about Spurs. Barely. No, they lost against Aston Villa. Drew against Monaco. Okay, beat Everton convincingly, fine. barely beats this lot, drew against this lot, drew against this lot, drew against this lot. They're not playing brilliant. So I think they're gonna get destroyed by Chelsea, who is themselves inconsistent. So Tottenham is gonna fall away. Sunderland is gonna have a few tough games. So yeah, they play Arsenal and they play Arsenal next Tuesday. No, Everton first, and then Arsenal, and then Fulham away, which is always difficult. Craven Cottage, very tough ground to play at. So these are teams. Yeah, they're above us in the table right now. But their tough games are still to come. They're not better than us, they just have played a few easier games. And Bournemouth, if we beat them, then they go to Villa Park, which is an easy place to lose. They're gonna be comfortably above them. So, for that reason, I'm only going to track Man City and Arsenal. Because I don't think anyone else is relevant here. To put it bluntly. So, Arsenal, let's start there. They beat Burnley. No discussion about that. They beat Burnley. Where does that leave us against Bournemouth? I think Bournemouth is a good team, but they're a bit overrated. I mean, let me show you guys again. Let me show you guys again. What results have they actually gotten so far this season? Let's go all the way back to the first of the season. They lost to Liverpool. Respectable. Barely beat Wolves. Got spanked in the Carabao Cup. Barely beat Tottenham, who just had a new manager. Barely beat Brighton at home. Brighton was struggling at the start of the season. Drew a poor Newcastle side. Drew Leeds United. Okay. Beat Fulham, but at home. These good results are coming at home. And against Tottenham, who was really struggling at the time. Drew Crystal Palace, again, on the road. No mas. They haven't won a game on the road yet. Sorry, yes, they beat Tottenham. No, my apologies. But again, Tottenham, context there. And yeah, they're yeah, they beat Forest. Wow, what an accomplishment! What an accomplishment, guys! They beat Nottingham Forest. Shall we check something about Nottingham Forest, guys? And let's do this. Hey, Forest. Let's see how you guys are doing. 2-0 loss, 3-0 loss, 2-0 loss, 2-3 loss, 1-0 loss, 2-2, 1-1, 3-2 loss, 3-0 loss, 3-0 loss, 1-1. Hey, so what are we saying? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 win in 12 games. 1 win in 12 games. You beat Forest. So, no, I don't think they've beaten anyone spectacular, to be honest here, the Bournemouth. So yeah, I think we're gonna have it. I think we're gonna have it quite well against Bournemouth, to be honest. I'll go 2-0 because Sherky is back, Marmoush is back, our scorers are back, Haaland is gonna be ready, rested. Potentially Rodri to return. Our full back four is back. Donnarumma in net. Semenyo not quite firing off at all cylinders at the moment. So no, I think we're gonna have an easy game. As easy is the wrong word. It's not an easy game, but I think we're gonna have a very comfortable game against Bournemouth. So there you go. Sunderland against Arsenal. Sunderland are massive. Sunderland are massive. Sunderland at the Stadium of Light are going to be difficult to play against. Anyone who goes to the Stadium of Light and expects to get 3 points comfortably is gonna be shocked. I think Arsenal is gonna encounter this haram football antidote. Someone who does it better than you. Sunderland is gonna haram football their way to a draw. That leaves us to play against Liverpool. Liverpool. They're a bit of a dip, aren't they? I mean, just look at Liverpool. Just look at Liverpool. Right now. Let me show you guys some games. They got Madrid next week. Where are we here? Barely beat Southampton. Fucking on their knees praying. Well, they're praying on their knees to win that game. They did. But it was rough. It was at Anfield, by the way. Then, Crystal Palace. Start of something beautiful. 2-1. Galatasaray, they couldn't score. Chelsea, 2-1. Liverpool, Man United, 1-2 loss. And it's Man United, the worst Man United team in years. Frankfurt, but don't get too excited, because it's followed up by a 3-2 loss and a 3-0 loss. These guys cannot defend. They're bent over, cheeks spread open, and whoever plays against them... Bro, Crystal Palace has clapped these cheeks 3 times. It's October. It's October and they've clapped 3 times. Liverpool is the local fucking bike bruv of London. Don't look at their results against London teams. Okay, they fucked the London bitch. Okay, they fucked the cuck of London, who always finishes second. But then, they play against a real London team. They get slapped. They get slapped. They get slapped. They lose on penalties. London, no must this season for these guys. Nah. We do not fear Liverpool, mates. By the way, what is Liverpool's next fixture? Aston Villa. Okay. Real Madrid. They play Real Madrid. Bro. The last thing Liverpool see before they go to Man City after losing to Crystal Palace for the 3rd time this season is Real Madrid. They're in for the spanking, bro. I'll tell you right now, there will be a goal. There will be a goal by Trent Alexander-Arnold. Then they rock up to the Etihad. They rock up war torn, bruv. Their heads are bleeding. They're limping. They're missing an arm. They're showing up. They got trauma, bruv. They've been to Vietnam. And then they rock up to the Etihad and bruv. Dictators, we know how to play those games, bro. And you know, corruption is not bad unless we are involved. And we are involved in the corruption. We're about to pay off these referees, bro. They're not ready for the war zone that is Etihad. When they come back from their trip to the Bernabeu, traumatized. Bro, we'll give them another reason to be traumatized. We will smack Liverpool. We will smack Liverpool at the Etihad. 4-0. Actually, they'll score a goal because our defense is shit. They'll score a goal. My apologies. But it will be comfortable for us. What are your thoughts if we win the next 3 games? I suppose I'll answer that pretty quickly. But I think Arsenal draw against Spurs. Because Spurs is playing really well at the moment. A bit inconsistent, but they'll turn up for the London Derby. Kolumwani should be fit by then. They have Brennan Johnson on the bench for the extra goal. They've got Kudus, Simmons. I'm not really sure who they play on the left wing. They've got these players up and ready to play them. Maybe they play Alderberg left wing. But Tottenham have players. Tottenham have players. Not a perfect squad, but they can draw something out. Can go bang on that pitch, get a result against Arsenal. So if we win our next 3 games, we are 2 points behind Arsenal. If we win our next 3 games, 2 points behind Arsenal. So how are we feeling then? Well, we've got easy opponents coming up. Well, easy in parentheses, with Leeds United at home. Should be comfortable. And then after that, we have Fulham away, Craven Cottage. That's difficult, but still be manageable. We tend to win at Craven Cottage. So, 3 wins on spin. I'm feeling kind of comfy. I can't lie. I'm feeling comfy. Friends, I'm taking out a cigar. I'm smoking the cigar. I need to buy a cigar so I can order one over here with the cigar. I need to go buy one. I'm joking. Or am I? I guess we'll never know until I buy a cigar. Or don't. But no, how are we feeling? If we win the next 3 Premier League games? Good. 2 points away from Bottle Job Central. When we still play them at the Etihad. We are going to bend Arsenal over at the Etihad. We're going to fuck them sideways so hard. They're never going to talk about the 5-1 again. Because they'll have forgotten. We'll have fucked it out of their memory. So we feel good. We feel good, Loza. If, that's the important part, if we win next 3 Premier League games. It's going to be like last season. Liverpool played okay, not particularly great, and won the Prem. And City was no. Well, if you swap Man City and Liverpool from places, I think that, yeah, sure. If you swap Man City and Liverpool from places, then yeah. But I don't think we're gonna have as bad a season as last season. I think we finish above Arsenal. I think we finish above Arsenal. The deciding factor for us winning the Premier League is not if we're better than Liverpool and Arsenal. It's not if we're the best, it's if Liverpool is less good than us. We are better than Arsenal. And everyone else, bar Liverpool. Question is Liverpool gonna be better than us across a season? At the moment, it doesn't look like it. I think that's the deciding factor here into who wins the Premier League. It's not gonna be Arsenal. It's us or Liverpool. And Liverpool not making a strong case. Man City against Yahoo. Yeah, in the Carabao Cup we play Brentford again. Do you think Liverpool will turn up against us after losing all the other games? I have a feeling. Well, it will be a Liverpool thing to do because, you know, they hate us. They say they don't hate us. They say they don't care about us. But they're obsessed with us. That is the truth. Liverpool. The best moment in our scouts' life is watching Man City or Man United lose because they wish they were those clubs, man. Liverpool fans wish they had the Man City jersey. Liverpool fans wish they had the dominance in the Premier League of Man United. So these scouts boys, they're a bit jealous, aren't they? So they turn up against Man City. But I think we should have him. I really think we should have them. Real Madrid won, or Real Madrid will win against Liverpool. I agree. I think it's gonna be smashing. 4-0. I agree. I think 2 goals Haaland, 1 goal Sherky, 1 goal from Kovacic. Let's throw Kovacic in there. Arsenal bottle job, second place FC. Bro, they're not even gonna finish second this season. They're gonna finish third. Diakon got numbered 67. I don't get that meme. I don't. Haaland hat-trick against Bournemouth. Didn't score against Villa. Only one way to bounce back. Yeah. He has not scored a hat-trick in 2025 for the Man City. Surely he doesn't go the entire year without a hat-trick. Surely at some point he scores a hat-trick. That's the time. Bournemouth. I'm very sorry for the Bournemouth, but hat-trick time for Erling Haaland. Yeah, you know what they say. That taxes Erling Braut Haaland hat-trick. So yeah. We've got Leeds. I think Leeds United is more likely. Raven Cottage, probably not. Trying to think what other games do we have left. Brighton. We still play against West Ham. He could score a hat-trick there. There's still a few games left where he could score a hat-trick. So I don't think it's going to be per se Bournemouth, but he's going to score a hat-trick at some point this year, isn't he? He's not going to go all of 2025 without a City hat-trick. He just is not. He just isn't. Anyhow, let me share something quickly. So, Wim asks, what is an Isaac? What is a word? Yes, I like my own tweet, by the way. If you're wondering why I liked it, I saw someone reposted it, I think it was Bevel, and I was like, damn, this is actually funny, I need to like my own tweet here. Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz, bruv. Okay. 1. 2-1. Alexander Isak and Wirtz, bro. Adamas. Chelsea. Chelsea against Arsenal, guys. This is gonna be delicious. Arsenal, fuck it again in London Derby. We'll be dead. We will be dead. We're getting so much points dropped by Arsenal. They would run, it's gonna come to a crashing end. All that Arsenal hype after 9 fucking games, it's gonna crash down, mate. That's the problem with Arsenal. They always hype everything up to the moon after 9 fucking games. But it ain't that deep, bro. Now, we're top of the league. We are top of the league after 13 games. Now, that's the next 5 games. So, one more game to go through. Raven Cottage, a difficult one. Official, Juventus got a new manager. Who did they get? I didn't know they sacked their old one. I know they got cooked again yesterday. I disagree. I think he was quite comfortable, Nuri. O'Reilly is not way better than Nuri. I promise you. When Nuri gets fully back up to fitness, he's gonna bully O'Reilly out of the team. And that's nothing to say of O'Reilly's quality, but Nuri is fucking world class. Comparing him to Lewis and Stones is a bit silly, I think. Victor Gyökeres gonna get humbled by Estevao. No, Estevao. No. Only way Haaland scores a hat-trick is if Sherky plays. I agree with that much. Nobody is creative like Sherky. Yeah, you're right on that one. Luciano Spalletti, ex-manager of Napoli and Italy national team. Is he the guy who won No, that was Conte, right? Conte was their manager when they won the Euros. Alfie, you were the ones hyping up these trophyless bottle jobs before City went to the Emirates. What? O'Reilly is way better. O'Reilly doesn't touch Aït-Nouri. I'm sorry, Teal, you're judging a player who's played one brilliant game against Wolves, 20 good minutes against Tottenham, got injured, was forced to play against Brighton when he wasn't fit, off of that Brighton game. He was our best player against Spurs and he played 20 minutes. I think it's a bit ridiculous, to be honest, to be saying that O'Reilly is better. Not. And I love O'Reilly, but he's not better than Aït-Nouri. And when Aït-Nouri is back fit, is playing full 90s in the Premier League, we're gonna see he's a brilliant player. Especially when you've got Omar Marmoush there, and you push Marmoush in field, O'Reilly down wide, you get Husanov, Diaz Gvardiol, you get that back 3. You're cooking something up. You're cooking up a storm 10. Anyhow, at Craven Cottage, I think it's gonna be whoever scores more goals wins. That this is the type of game where you need to go out there and show your goal-scoring muscle. Craven Cottage, we have a good record against at Craven Cottage against Fulham. But here's the thing. Fulham always make it difficult at their home ground. They... I'm going to respond later to you. They like to attack at their home ground. A lot of teams sit back all the time. But Fulham at Craven Cottage, I feel like they actually get quite a bit of goals. But like, if you compare Fulham to some other teams in the Premier League, they get more goals than the ones that are around. Goals scored is this one. Okay, at the moment not, but see Fulham. 14 goals, 8 goals, 9 goals. And this is where they're usually at. 8 goals. And that is mostly Craven Cottage. Look at goals scored. More goals than Crystal Palace, more goals than Everton, more goals than these teams where they're hanging around. That's Craven Cottage. That's mostly Craven Cottage where they get these goals. At least from my watching experience. See, they get more goals than the teams around them. They get more goals. Because they score at their home ground. So this is a game where we need to outscore them. We'll have Marmoush back, we'll have Sherky back, we'll have Aït-Nouri back, we'll have O'Reilly on the bench, we'll have Husanov back at that point, I hope. Put it in the bag. Then, Arsenal Brentford. Listen, I've predicted a lot of points to be dropped by Arsenal, so I'm just gonna have to give it, to be honest. But that is not a guarantee to win. Brentford taking the piss right now, and I love it. Igor Thiago is massive, but probably Arsenal at home will win. They love a 2-1 scoreline, so I'll give them a 2-1 scoreline. And that means after 14 games, we would theoretically be top of the league if we win all 5 games coming up, which is a big ask. O'Reilly will bench Aït-Nouri. No, he won't. He really won't. Aït-Nouri has been brilliant when he's played. He's just not played a lot because he got injured. Let's see if City will beat Madrid and Liverpool. When do we play Madrid? It's not this week or next week because Liverpool play them next week. I think we play Dortmund, right? I think Madrid is a really good team right now, to be honest. They're top of La Liga as well, by the way. So Madrid is not just hanging around nowhere. They're top of La Liga. I think Madrid is a solid team, to be honest. I think the slander for Madrid is still coming from last... But they're not as bad as last season. So I think that's a bit strange, to be honest. Anyhow, I think I'll leave it there. I'll redirect the stream because I have to go. I could continue to talk for a while, but I have to go onto another stream with Zeer. Where is his channel? Need to redirect this. Yeah, I have to go over to there. Let's see if we spank Liverpool. Bro, we're gonna spank Liverpool. We're gonna spank Liverpool. Let me round up on that. We are going to spank Liverpool into next week. Where they're gonna get spanked again by whoever they play. Because they're in the mud right now, bro. Liverpool is deep in the mud right now. It's gonna be glorious. Anyhow, I'll redirect you guys. I'm going to be on Zair's channel, so that's what I'm sending you guys. So I'll be on stream again in a minute. But I promised I'd be on. I'm already 7 minutes late. I'll see you guys there. Adios.